In today's video, what is a black belt and what does each subsequent black belt level stand for? Stay to the end of the video for a quote from Master Nishiyama on the importance of having standardized black belt testing. Okay, everyone knows what a black belt is, but do you know what it really means? First off, what is a black belt?
Hey, what kind of belt do you have?
Canvas. You like? JC Penney 398.
No, I didn't mean a belt like that. I meant...
Okinawa belt mean no need rope, hold up pants.
That is 100% right. A black belt is merely a piece of cloth, but then why is it so coveted by every single martial artist that begins their training? Well, it's not about getting a black belt. The thing that is important is becoming a black belt. There is a difference. If you want a black belt bad enough, it costs about $10 to order one off the internet. So anyone can get a black belt. What anyone can't do is become a black belt. Hope by the end of the video you'll kind of have an understanding of what I mean by that. In the martial arts today, earning your black belt is a lot easier than it was 50 years ago. Today you can see small children with black belts. There's clubs that are turning out black belts after just a short amount of time of training. And then after a lot of people receive their black belt, they're giving up their training, saying there's nothing else that they can learn because now they are black belts. Or in some other extreme cases, upon receiving your first degree black belt, students claiming that they are senseis or even masters. The concept of the belt in karate was adopted from judo by Geishin Funakoshi. Belts were used to determine the experience level of his students. The belts would get darker as the student got more and more experience. Now, colors differ from style to style and organization to organization. Originally there was only white and black belts, and then brown belt was brought in to signify almost ready to become a black belt. A common ranking system is white belt as 9th kyu, yellow belt 8th kyu, orange belt 7th kyu, green belt 6th kyu, blue belt, or sometimes 2 purple belts as 5th kyu, purple belt as 4th kyu, and then 3 kyus, 3rd through 1st, with the brown belt. These belts represent the work that goes into becoming a black belt. The average time span between color belt tests or Q rank tests is 3 to 4 months, but I have heard of some groups that only do 1 test a year. So just imagine the span of training you would have to do to achieve a black belt if you only get to do one Q test every year. Now, it's not just time that is taken into account. Class attendance, skill level, physical and emotional development, all are important. If you've tested 4 months ago and received a belt, and you go to your instructor and say, okay, I'm ready for my next test, but you never went to a class, don't expect to get the opportunity to test for your next rank. The time that goes into being able to test for your black belt, it's about 1 year after you receive your first Q or last brown belt. For each subsequent black belt level after that, take your current black belt level, and that's the number of years of hard training you must do to be able to test for the next rank. So, for example, at Shodan, you will need to train for 1 full year before you can test for Nidan, and then 2 years before you can test for Sundan, 3 years before you can test for Yondan, and so on and so forth. Now, over the years, being a black belt has been synonymous with being a master of the martial arts. This is in no case true. Receiving a black belt just means you've mastered the basic skills of karate. So, for example, a Shodan or first degree black belt means that you've mastered the white through orange belt levels. That is not all. A black belt is expected to carry a level of maturity, discipline, and respect. This should be shown throughout each level of black belt beyond the Shodan level. Receiving the rank also comes with responsibilities to help with junior students. Now, this by no means to be a teacher. This is to be more of a role model. If you are a black belt, you should be showing the rest of the students in your club that are brown belts and color belts and the kids how to act as a black belt. You should arrive to class early, be neat and tidy, show respect to others, and display the proper attitude for training. Now, one thing that some groups do at the Shodan level that I believe is very wrong is to apply the title of sensei the minute that you receive your black belt. While sensei literally just means one who has done something before you, a lot of people don't understand this and see the term sensei as meaning the teacher or the master in the class, and then they think that every single black belt is a qualified instructor. Now the journey does not end with the first degree black belt. Nidan, or second degree black belt, is a master of the intermediate skills, the skills needed for green through the purple belt levels. Some organizations will apply an age restriction at this point. You have to be a certain age to test, usually around 15 or 16. Also at this level, some organizations will permit students to enter into the Kenshusei or instructor program. Sandan, or third degree black belt, is a master of the advanced techniques of karate. Now this does not by any means mean that they're a master of the martial arts. This just means that they're a master of the skills required to be a brown belt. The next level is the fourth dan, or Yondan level, and hopefully by this level you have mastered all the skills required to be a first degree black belt. Now you are starting to get into the groove. You're starting to understand some of the applications, the techniques. You're starting to understand some of the regulations, some of the other side of training. You're starting to get into teaching a little bit. You're starting to show that extra level, the extra drive. Most people do not reach this rank. Most people kind of start dropping off or stop testing at around Nidan. So if you've reached fourth degree black belt, you're really pushing, you're really trying, and you're really continuing. This is more than just a hobby or fun. The next rank is Godan, or fifth degree black belt. You begin the journey to becoming a master of karate at this point. Geishin Funakoshi only received a fifth degree black belt. Now when he did pass away, the Japan Karate Association gave him the honorary rank of Judan, or 10th degree black belt. Now also at this level, some groups award the title of Renshi. Now Renshi means polished teacher. Usually if you're not in a system that has a Kenshusei program, an instructor's program, as you progress in ranks is when they start applying teacher levels to you, or instructor levels, and it's this level, Godan, where now you have become a polished teacher, so you're a higher level instructor. The next rank is 6th Dan, or Rukudan. You've been training for at least 20 years at this point, and you have to be at least in your 30s as well. You have dedicated your life to karate. Here some groups also award the rank Kyoshi, which means expert teacher. If you have enrolled in a Kenshusei program, you're now reaching that final level. Next in the progression is 7th degree black belt, or Shichidan. You finally achieved the title of Shihan, or master. At this point, if you have enrolled in the Kenshusei program, you probably are about to graduate, or you have graduated the program. Some groups will also award the title here of Hanshi. Now, what's interesting to take note is Hanshi and Shihan are the same use of two words, but they're flipped. However, if you look at the Japanese characters for them, they have a slightly different meaning. Shihan means exemplary teacher, while Hanshi means exemplary gentleman. As you continue your training, the next rank is Hachidan, or 8th degree black belt. You are now a senior level master. This is where most organizations stop rank progression. Why? There are still 2 more levels of black belt. There's 10 degrees of black belt, right? Yes, that is correct. There are 10 degrees of black belt, much like there's 10 levels of Q. Years ago, the 9th degree black belt was held in reserve for the head of an international organization. 10th degree black belt was applied only to headmasters who have passed away. But then a few years back, some major organizations like the ISKF and the JKA applied the 10th degree rank to their head instructor, and their deputy instructor became a 9th dan. So now in most international organizations, 10th degree black belt is the head of the organization. 9th degree black belt is the deputy chief instructors of that organization. These 2 ranks signify a lifelong dedication to the martial arts, and at this level you have transcended the martial arts that you've trained. Now you understand different levels of techniques. You can apply the techniques in different ways. You see how they work. So you're not just looking at it like looking at a piece of paper at the front of the paper. Now you can see the martial arts in kind of like a 3-dimensional level. You can look at it from different angles and different sides and see the different concepts and different ideas. So at this point, unless you run an international organization, don't expect to receive the rank of 9th or 10th dan. Now parents, If you're the instructor at your dojo, where you're thinking about enrolling your children, is a 9th or 10th degree black belt, or even higher, and they are not in the late stages of their life, something is not right. Now, I have heard of people that have applied these ranks to themselves, and so on and so forth. You have to really investigate, find out what's going on if they say they're a 13th degree black belt, like this guy. So is there any rank higher than 10th degree black belt or Judan? Not in Shotokan karate. Jigoro Kano received an 11th degree black belt in judo, and upon his death he was given the rank of 12th dan. But in Shotokan there are no levels beyond 10th dan. So becoming a black belt does not mean that you have mastered karate. It is only the first step on the journey. Think about your karate training as if you're about to take a trip to the top of a mountain. Where does this trip begin? Most will say that your trip begins at the foot of the mountain, but it begins far before that. Your journey to the top of the mountain began when you decided to start this trip, this journey. When you've said to yourself, I am going to do this. That's when your trip begins. The first stages of that are getting the equipment and the training to be able to traverse the mountain. Getting those stages, getting that equipment, getting that training, that's your Q levels, that's your colored belts. The day of the trip signifies your black belt. Now your journey has begun. But you haven't even reached the foot of the mountain yet. So remember that. The day you receive your 1st degree black belt, the journey hasn't ended. The journey has just begun. The only thing that you have done at this point is you have found the right path. Now, Master Nishiyama once wrote, and I quote, "Since the public is not aware of the differences in ranking and the ability of a true black belt, they are easily lured into clubs which will award a black belt to the students after only a short period of training. This is not only dangerous to the student, but degrades the quality of karate. The public should be wary of those clubs which use the word black belt as a come-on to cheat people out of their money. In a respectable club, a black belt can be earned within 3 to 5 years of hard work and only under competent instruction. It is for these reasons that karate should have a standard system of testing as soon as possible. It is also the responsibility for those of us in karate to educate the public to the significance of the karate black belt. Likewise, each karateka must realize that the black belt is not a gift, but a goal, a symbol of one's great effort. In setting up a high-quality ranking system, not only the student, but also karate in general will benefit, thus instilling a greater sense of pride and achievement in the receiving of a black belt. The knights and samurais of old allowed nothing to tarnish their honor. Should the senseis and black belts of today desire anything less? I'm going to leave you with that today. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Ring the notification bell so you don't miss out on any of our future videos. Thanks for supporting the Shotokan Chronicles. Please visit our website at theshotokanchronicles.com. There you'll find a store where you can purchase some of our merchandise, Shotokan Chronicles t-shirts, hats, hoodies, stickers. Over here you're going to see a video link popping up for some kata instructional videos. And over here you'll find some videos for some tips on how to use household items in your training. Thanks for watching, and see you next time on the Shotokan Chronicles.